Welcome to the session on Google Scholar. We have already seen that the advancement in information technology has a great impact on every phase of research. There are different applications and facilities to help researchers in the process of data collection and analysis of data. Some applications are helpful in data collection while others are used for analysis, and some others are used at the time of publishing. Google Scholar is one such type of facility, which is a search engine that covers scholarly literature including peer-reviewed papers, theses, books, abstracts and technical reports. Google Scholar. Google Scholar is a freely accessible web search engine that indexes the full text or metadata of scholarly literature across an array of publishing formats and disciplines. Released in beta in November 2004, the Google Scholar Index includes most peer-reviewed online academic journals and books, conference papers, theses and dissertations, preprints, abstracts, technical reports and other scholarly literature including court opinion and patents. While Google does not publish the size of Google Scholar's database, Scientometric researchers estimated it to contain roughly 389 million documents including articles, citations and patents, making it the world's largest academic search engine in January 2018. Previously, the size was estimated at 160 million documents as of May 2014. Earlier statistical estimate published in PLOS ONE, which is a peer-reviewed open access journal using a mark and recapture method, estimated approximately 80 to 90% coverage of all articles published in English with an estimate of 100 million. This estimate also determined how many documents were freely available on the web. Google Scholar is similar in function to the freely available CiteSeerX and GetCited. It also resembles the subscription-based tools Elsevier, Scopus and Clarivate Analytics Web of Science. Google Scholar has been criticized for not vetting journals and including predatory journals in its index. Useful features and specifications. Google Scholar combines some features to make it easy to identify a range of related publications across a topic area and extract citations in many standard styles and formats. Related articles. If you find a useful article, you can click the related articles link to see more like it. It's important to note, however, that Google Scholar does not clarify what algorithm it uses to determine related articles. Cited by. Clicking the Cited by link lets you see where an article has been cited. This is a helpful tool for uncovering more potentially relevant journal articles or other documents. Citation formatting. To see the citation formatted in MLA, APA, Chicago, Harvard and Vancouver styles, simply click on the quote icon. You can then copy and paste the citation into your document or export it to your bibliography manager. Relevant research. Google Scholar lets you follow research that is related to a specific author's work. To do so, click Follow on the author's public profile page and then select New articles related to this author's research. Whenever an article is published related to the author's work, you will get an email alert. Google Scholar allows users to search for digital or physical copies of articles, whether online or in libraries. It indexes full-text journal articles, technical reports, preprints, theses, books and other documents including selected web pages that are deemed to be scholarly. Because many of Google Scholar's search results link to commercial journal articles, most people will be able to access only an abstract and the citation details of an article and have to pay a fee to access the entire article. The most relevant results for the searched keyword will be listed first in order of the author's ranking. the number of references that are linked to it, and their relevance to other scholarly literature, and the ranking of the publication that the journal appears in. Using its group of feature, it shows the available links to journal articles. In the 2005 version, this feature provided a link to both subscription access version of an article and to free full text version of articles. For most of 2006, it provided links to only the publisher's versions. Since December 2006, it has provided links to both published versions and major open access repositories, but still does not cover those posted on individual faculty web pages. Access to such self-archived non-subscription versions is now provided by a link to Google, where one can find such open access articles. With its cited by feature, Google Scholar provides access to abstracts of articles that have cited the article being viewed. It is this feature in particular that provides the citation indexing previously only found in CiteSeer's corpus and Web of Science. With its related articles feature, Google Scholar presents a list of closely related articles ranked primarily by how similar these articles are to the original result, but also taking into account the relevance of each paper. Google Scholar's legal database of US cases is extensive. Users can search and read published opinions of US state appellate and Supreme Court cases since 1950, US Federal District Appellate, Tax and Bankruptcy Courts since 1923, and US Supreme Court cases since 1971. Google Scholar embeds clickable citation links within the case, and the How Cited tab allows lawyers to research prior case law and the subsequent citations to the court decision. The Google Scholar Legal Content Star Paginator extension inserts Westlaw and LexisNexis style page numbers in line with the text of the case. The ranking algorithm. Link analysis is an important tool used by web search engines, while it also plays a part in the study of citations among scientific papers and journals. The standard measure of citation impact factor is the average number of citations received by a paper in the given journal over the past 2 years. Here, the average attention paid by the academic community to papers published in the journal serves the role of voting by in-links. Google Scholar, however, combines the traits of web search engine and citation analysis and is different from both. Google's ranking function for web search is believed to involve PageRank as well as non-PageRank methods developed on hubs and authorities, while Google Scholar, like citation analysis, deals with journal articles that have with no in-links or outlinks rather than webs. Citation play the same role in-links play in link analysis and do so in a more explicit way. They directly show what other articles have influenced one article, and citation counts can be easily used to show how many times one article has been endorsed. As a research by Beal and Gibb found out, the citation counts of an article is the highest ranking factor in the ranking of articles in Google Scholar. Also, the occurrence of a search term in an article's title has a strong impact on the article's ranking, while the impact of search term frequencies in an article's full text is weak. On the other hand, Google Scholar does not seem to use the principles of repeated improvement, as citations from high impact journals are counted in the same way as citations from low impact ones. In the same way as web page authors would try to understand ranking functions of web search engine to make their pages rank higher, scholars may also utilize knowledge of the ranking algorithm of Google Scholar to make their article appear the first. And since the factors in ranking algorithm of Google Scholar are more controllable than those in normal web search, scholars may do so simply by using relevant words in the title as much as possible and increase self-citation or citation alliances. On the other hand, the reliability of Google Scholar as an information source is still debated, and researchers would use the same knowledge to determine the usefulness of articles found on Google Scholar. Thus, there will be a balance in the end between cost and benefits of making paper rank higher on Google Scholar. Advantages and limitations of Google Scholar. Advantages of using Google Scholar. Google Scholar is familiar and relatively simple to use, much like Google. Google Scholar allows users to search for or find a wide variety of materials including articles, books, grey literature like conference proceedings on a vast number of topics. Google Scholar allows for you to see articles related to the one that might interest you, how many times an article has been cited and by whom, and provides citations for articles in a number of styles. Google Scholar can display links to articles and books held through ECU libraries. Google Scholar allows you to save both citation and articles to read later. Disadvantages of using Google Scholar. Google Scholar's coverage is wide-ranging but not comprehensive. It can be a research source but should not be the only source you use. Google Scholar does not provide the criteria for what makes its results scholarly. Results are often vary in quantity, and it is up to the researcher to determine which of the results are suitable for their purposes. Google Scholar does not allow users to limit results to either peer-reviewed or full-text materials or by discipline. Google Scholar does not provide notice of when its materials are updated. Google Scholar's citation tracker can be difficult to use and inaccurate. Optimizing files for Google Scholar. Based on the definition of search engine optimization for web pages, SEO, we define academic search engine optimization, ASEO, as follows. Academic search engine optimization, ASEO, is the creation, publication and modification of scholarly literature in a way that makes it easier for academic search engines to both crawl it and index it. The basic concept of keyword-based searching is the same for all major or academic search engines. Users search for a search term in a certain document field, example title, abstract, body text, or in all fields, and all documents containing the search term are listed on the results page. Academic search engines use different ranking algorithms to determine in which position the results are displayed. Some let the user choose one factor on which to rank the results. Common ranking factors are publication date, citation count, author or journal name and reputation, and relevance of the document. Others combine the ranking factors into one algorithm, and more often than not, the user has no influence on the factors weighting. The relevance of a document is basically a function of how often the search term occurs in that document and in which part of the document it occurs. Generally speaking, the more often a search term occurs in the document and the more important the document field is in which the term occurs, the more relevant the document is considered. This means that an occurrence in the title is weighted more heavily than an occurrence in the abstract, which carries more weight than an occurrence in a subheading, than in the body text, and so on. In this section, we will discuss the most important considerations to help ensure your work is visible in Google Scholar. Abstract and metadata. Metadata completeness for PDFs and other electronic files is particularly important. It provides extra context for the search engine, indicating what your document is about and how it relates to other articles. Essential elements of metadata for academic work are title, author names, abstract, keywords, author and user related, publication name, social annotations, description, file name and URI. Google's algorithm will look for keywords and phrases used in the main body of the article as well as tables, figures and subheadings to identify the most relevant articles for a user's search term. But taking the time to include carefully considered metadata makes it that bit easier for Google Scholar to get your article in front of people searching on that topic. The abstract is also really important because Google Scholar uses it to form the meta description. Just as a researcher will decide whether to delve into a full academic paper based on the abstract, the meta description is your opportunity to encourage readers to click through from the search results in the first place. Google's meta descriptions can be up to 230 characters long. This means that while the full abstract can of course be as long as needed, it's worth considering how the first 230 characters will look in a meta description and how effectively this description will draw in readers. We recommend putting the most important information first, summing up the contents of work and what the user will gain from reading it. Types of graphics. Images in articles should be vector graphics, which are made up of straight and curved lines rather than raster, which are made up of pixels. The reason for using vector over raster graphics is that text cannot be read by search engines if it is housed in a raster format. This means any text included in a raster graphic won't do anything to help the article rank more prominently in the Google Scholar results. And ideally, you want every bit of your article to contribute relevance for the different search queries that might lead a person to your work. The following formats are examples of vector graphics: .svg, .ai, .eps and .ps. Citation details and count. As mentioned, your citations are very important for helping articles to rank well in Google Scholar. To ensure Google Scholar can understand the relation between your articles and the work cited within them, you should ensure author names and publication names are always cited in the exact same way and that the reference list for the full article is labeled with a clear subheading. You should also ensure the formatting of author and publication information is aligned across the article itself and in the metadata of the file. All this maximizes the potential for your papers to rank prominently when people search for academic work using author and publication names. In this module, Google Scholar and its characteristics are discussed in detail. This module gives an account of the fundamental concepts in Google Scholar ranking algorithm. We also discussed various advantages and limitations of Google Scholar in detail. The module ends by referring various techniques to optimize a search article for Google Scholar. Hope you enjoy this session. See you next time. Until then, bye.